A cry in the cold chamber. The alien ship floated silently through deep space, its silver surface glowing under the nearby star. Inside, everything was quiet except one sound. A baby was crying, not just any baby. This was the daughter of the Velari Queen, the ruler of one of the most powerful alien empires in the galaxy. Her child, only days old, had not stopped crying for nearly 6 hours. The cold chamber, meant to keep the baby safe, was filled with light and soft music, robotic. Arms gently rocked the crib. Alien nurses stood nearby, trying to feed her, sing to her, and calm her. But nothing worked. The baby's cries echoed through the halls of the royal ship. Everyone could hear her, and no one could help. Queen Elari, strong and proud, stood near the crib. Her golden skin looked pale now, and her bright eyes were tired. She had not slept since the baby started crying. She looked at the healers and whispered, "Why won't she stop?" The healers looked down, afraid to speak far away. Deep in the ship's engine room, a human man named Liam was working on a cooling unit. He was one of the only humans on board, a low-level engineer assigned to help with repairs. He had no power, no rank, and no reason to be near the royal chambers. But he heard the crying, again and again. That sound pierced the walls, sharp and full of pain. At first, Liam tried to ignore it. "Not my business," he muttered. But something about the cry pulled at him. It was soft but filled with fear. Like the baby was not just upset, but alone. Finally, Liam dropped his tools and followed the sound. When he reached the upper levels, 2 tall alien guards blocked his way. "Turn back, human," one said coldly. Liam hesitated. "That sound, the baby. I think she needs help." The guards laughed. "She is the royal child. She does not need help from you." But before they could push him back, a voice came from inside. "Let him pass," Queen Elari said. The guards stepped aside. Liam entered the cold chamber. The air was sharp and clean. The baby lay in a crystal crib, her tiny fists waving, her face red with endless tears. Lights flashed around her, and machines beeped quietly. He looked at the queen, then back at the child. "May I?" he asked. The queen nodded. "Nothing else has worked. Try." Liam stepped forward slowly, his boots tapping against the smooth floor. He knelt beside the crib and looked into the baby's glowing eyes. She stopped crying for just a second, watching him. Liam reached out, gently picking her up. The room froze. The guards tensed, hands on weapons. The nurses gasped, but something happened. The baby took a shaky breath, and then let out a tiny sigh. And then silence. She snuggled into Liam's chest, resting her head against him. Her tiny fingers grabbed his shirt. Her glowing eyes slowly closed. Within seconds, she was asleep. Everyone stood in shock. Queen Elari stepped closer, whispering, "How did you—" "I don't know," Liam said softly, holding the baby like he had done with his niece back home. "She just needed someone." The queen stared at the human man, an ordinary worker, and her royal child resting in his arms. For the first time in hours, she felt peace. Liam looked around awkwardly. "Should I put her down?" "No," the queen said. "Stay." He sat in a nearby chair, still holding the baby gently. Her breathing was soft and steady. Her little heartbeat could be heard in the quiet. The lights in the chamber dimmed, as if the room itself calmed with her. Outside the chamber, in a hidden hallway, a shadowy figure sent a message. "The prophecy may be real," the message read. "The human has touched the royal child. Prepare for the next phase." Inside, Liam yawned, resting his back. He had no idea his small act had just changed the future of the galaxy. His warmth calmed her. Liam sat quietly in the crystal chair, the alien baby resting peacefully against his chest. Her tiny breaths were soft, and the strange glow from her skin thinned gently with each inhale. The queen stood nearby, her eyes full of disbelief. For 6 hours, nothing had worked. Not science, not songs, not even sacred energy rituals from the royal priests. And now, a simple human and engineer with no title had ended the cries with nothing but warmth and kindness. How did you do that? The queen asked again, stepping closer. Liam looked up. I didn't do anything special. I just held her like I would my niece. The baby shifted a little and let out a happy sound, a soft coo. Her small fingers stayed wrapped around Liam's collar, like she didn't want to let go. The nurses stood frozen. One of them whispered, her energy levels are stable now. All systems normal. Record everything, the queen ordered. Every heartbeat, every sound, every second. Liam stayed still. He could feel the child's body getting warmer, more relaxed. Something about her touch was strange, but it didn't hurt. It felt like trust. After a few minutes, one of the guards stepped forward. Your Highness, this is dangerous. He's human. He shouldn't be so close to royal blood. Queen. Alari turned toward the guard sharply. And yet none of you could stop her tears. This human did in seconds. That makes him important. The room went silent. Then she gave a new order. He will stay with her. Liam looked up surprised. Stay? The queen nodded. Yes, until we understand what this is. You're the only one who calmed her. So now you are her guardian. For now. Liam wasn't sure what to say. He came here to fix broken machines, not rock alien royalty to sleep. But looking down at the baby in his arms, he couldn't just walk away now. Okay, he said quietly. I'll stay. Hours passed. Word spread across the ship. Crew members whispered in halls. Officers looked at him with suspicion. Some with curiosity. Some with anger. Why did a human someone considered low on the galactic ladder have such? A bond with a royal alien child? And not just any child. This was Anya, the firstborn of Queen Ilari, future ruler of the Valari Empire. As Liam stayed in the nursery, strange things began to happen. The machines in the chamber adjusted themselves to his body temperature. Lights dimmed when he blinked. And whenever he held Enya, her glowing pulse matched his heartbeat. One nurse ran a scan. Her eyes widened. Your biorhythm is syncing with hers. What does that mean? Liam asked. It means she hesitated. She's accepting you as part of her survival pattern. Like you're necessary. The queen watched in silence, her thoughts racing. Legends of the Valari spoke of rare bonds between royals and protectors. But those were just myths. Stories passed down by old priests. She remembered a line from the old scrolls. When the child of stars cannot sleep, one from the fire world shall bring stillness. Earth was a fire world, full of danger, full of emotion, full of humans. Was this the start of a prophecy? Far away from the nursery, in a dark chamber deep in the ship, a cloaked figure activated a secret communication screen. The human has bonded with the child. The figure whispered. On the other end, a deep voice responded. Then the old truth may awaken. If that bond grows, the balance will shift. Shall we remove him? No, not yet. Let them believe in peace. Let them believe in care. And when the time comes, we strike. The screen went dark. Back in the nursery, Liam laid Enya gently back into her crystal crib. She opened her glowing eyes and looked at him, but didn't cry. She blinked slowly, then smiled. It wasn't just comfort now. It was connection. The queen stepped beside him. You've done more than anyone in this ship. I don't understand it, but I see it. Liam scratched the back of his neck. I've never even held an alien baby before. Queen Alari's lips curved into the smallest smile. You may be the only one who ever should. Unspoken bond. The nursery lights dimmed as artificial night settled across the ship. Outside the massive windows, stars shimmered like distant eyes watching in silence. Liam sat on a padded bench beside the crystal crib. He was tired, but he refused to leave. The baby Enya hadn't cried once since he arrived. Her calmness felt magical, almost unnatural. He didn't understand it, but he knew something deeper was happening. The queen entered quietly, her long cloak trailing behind her. Still awake? She asked. Liam nodded. She sleeps better when I'm nearby. I just don't want to risk her waking up again. Queen Alari looked down at Enya. She's never been this peaceful. Even in the womb, she kicked with rage. The doctor said it was strange. Liam chuckled lightly. Maybe she was just waiting for someone with warm arms. The queen tilted her head. You speak like a father. I'm just a guy with basic training and a few babysitting weekends, Liam said. I'm no hero. But at that moment, Enya stirred. She opened her small glowing eyes and reached out not to her mother, not to the nurses, but toward Liam. He stood and gently lifted her. As soon as he did, her chest glowed faintly, and a small golden mark shimmered just beneath her skin, near her collarbone. The queen leaned forward sharply. What is that? Before Liam could answer, a strange warmth burned across his wrist. He looked down and froze. A soft golden mark was glowing there too. It looked almost like a symbol, but not from any human language. The queen stepped back, shocked. This is impossible. What is it? Liam asked. That symbol is ancient Velari. It means chosen protector. Liam frowned. Protector? I didn't agree to anything. You didn't have to, the queen whispered. She chose you. Later that day, the ship's lead science officer demanded answers. Scanners showed that Liam's presence was now affecting the baby's health systems, stabilizing them even further. The human's touch changes her brainwaves, the officer said. Her cells respond to his heartbeat. This isn't bonding, it's imprinting. The queen looked at Liam with new eyes. The last time such a mark appeared, it led to war and great change. What kind of change? Liam asked Dot, but the queen said nothing. Elsewhere on the ship, not everyone was happy. Commander Var, the queen's military advisor, stormed into the war chamber. This is a threat, he growled. A human imprinting on royal blood? At bond. Could grant him access to the throne's secrets. The child is the future. This cannot continue. Others agreed. We should separate them, one officer said, or remove him. Another whispered darkly, but unknown to them. One of the queen's loyal guards had already shared the news with a hidden group, an ancient sect that worshipped the old ways and feared the return of the prophecy. Back in the nursery, Liam tried to stay calm. He held Enya, gently humming a soft tune from Earth, a lullaby. She smiled and gripped his finger. She likes your voice, the queen said, standing beside him. Yeah? Liam smiled. She has good taste. Queen Alari paused, then said, quietly, you may not know this, but among my people, we believe that souls speak before words. The child hears what adults cannot. Liam looked at the baby. So what is she hearing from me? The queen met his gaze. Safety. Enya's glow pulsed softly. But outside the chamber, shadows moved. Plans were forming. One whisper passed from hallway to hallway. Separate them before it's too late. That night, as Liam slept beside the crib, another symbol began to appear faintly on Enya's skin, this time shaped like a ring of stars. And somewhere, far across the galaxy, a very old being woke up, sensing the spark of something long, Thought extinct. Asterisk. The Council's threat. The Royal Star Cruiser hovered above a blue gas giant, its silver hull glowing softly in orbit. Inside, the mood had changed. What began as a strange mystery was now a political firestorm. Queen Elari stood at the center of her throne chamber, reading a message that had just come through the high-security channel. The seal on the message was unmistakable. It belonged to the High Velari Council, the rulers above all rulers in their empire. Their message was short, cold, and direct. The human must be removed. His presence threatens the bloodline. If you do not act, we will. Her hands tightened around the datapad. She read the words again. The council believed Liam was dangerous, not because of what he did wrong, but because of what he might become. Meanwhile, in the nursery, Liam sat with Enya in his arms once again. She slept peacefully, her tiny fingers resting over the glowing mark on his wrist. The two of them seemed connected, now not just physically, but in a deeper, invisible way. A nurse entered with her head down. "Sir?" she said softly. "They're coming." With orders, Liam stood up. "Who?" "The Council sent warships. They want to take you." Liam looked down at Enya. Her glow dimmed slightly, sensing his fear. "She knows something's wrong," he whispered. He kissed her forehead gently. "I won't let them take me away from you." At the same time, Queen Alari called a secret meeting with her most loyal advisors. Some were afraid. Others were furious. "If you defy the council," one said, "they will strip you of power." "They may strip me of more than that," the queen replied calmly. "They may try to take her or him." "She is your daughter," one guard growled. "They have no right." "The council sees her as a tool, not a child," the queen said. "And now this human, this Liam, is the key they didn't expect." "They'll come soon," another whispered. "We must decide now." Alari turned and looked at the glowing royal crest on the wall. Her voice was soft but firm. "I made a promise to my daughter. I won't let anyone take her peace." Within the hour, the council's warship arrived. It was black and massive, covered in ancient carvings of judgment and power. The ship's presence alone sent fear through every deck of Alari's cruiser. A cold voice echoed through the ship's main screen. "You have until sunset to deliver the human into our hands. Failure to comply will be seen as betrayal." The queen stood silently in the bridge, the crew watching her closely. Liam stood in the nursery, holding Enya tightly. As the hours passed, a plan formed quietly. Queen Elari summoned Liam in secret, entered a dark chamber where she stood alone, her eyes heavy with conflict. "They'll come for you tonight," she said. "I figured," Liam replied. "You should run." "I'm not leaving her," he said. The queen stared at him for a moment. Then slowly, she pulled out something from her robe. It was a small metallic sphere shining with soft blue light. "This is a cloaker," she said. "It will hide you, but only if you take her with you." Liam stepped back. "You're asking me to protect her," the queen whispered. "If I fall, if the council takes control, she will be raised as a puppet. But with you, she has a chance to grow free." Liam didn't answer right away. He looked down at Enya, who stared up at him with trusting eyes. "I'm just a man," he finally said. "I don't know your world. I don't know how to lead a child." The queen placed a hand on his shoulder. "No, but you know how to love one." That was enough. As midnight approached, the corridors of the ship darkened. Guards loyal to the council began to move. The queen ordered the main power grid to glitch just long enough for one escape pod to launch unnoticed. Inside that pod, Liam held Enya tightly, wrapped in a thermal cloth. The cloaker activated, turning them invisible to all sensors. The pod launched silently into the void. As it disappeared into the stars, The queen stood tall before the council's envoy. "You were too late," she said with fire in her voice. Far across the system, Liam's pod floated toward an old abandoned moon base. Enya slept against his chest. He looked out at the stars and whispered, "They won't find us. Not yet." The prophecy awakens. The pod landed gently on the surface of a forgotten moon, hidden in the shadow of a shattered planet. The base there was cold, old, and covered in dust, but the systems still worked. Liam stepped out carrying the child. The air inside the base hissed to life as he entered. Lights flickered. Generators hummed. A screen lit up in the corner, showing a broken Velari symbol. The same symbol that now glowed faintly on Enya's chest. Liam didn't notice at first. He was too focused on calming her. She was shivering. Her glow was flickering. He laid her in a heated pod, found some nutrient packs, and wrapped her in thermal cloth. He watched her as she slowly stopped shaking, her light stabilizing again. "You're safe," he whispered. "I promise." Back on the Queen's ship, chaos had begun. The High Velari Council was furious. Their envoy disrespected. Their orders disobeyed. "You have defied ancient law," the lead counselor hissed at Queen Alari. The Queen stood proudly. "I have followed a law older than yours. A mother protects her child." The council threatened exile. They threatened invasion, but none of it moved her. She had already made her choice. Meanwhile, on the council's homeworld, something strange began to happen. In the deepest vaults of their grand library, an ancient artifact flickered for the first time in thousands of years. It was a large black stone, hidden beneath runes and layered crystal. For centuries, it had been silent. Now it pulsed once, then again. The priests panicked. "The guardian mark. It has returned." One of them whispered. Another read from a forgotten scroll. "When the child born of light bonds with fire blood from another star, the protector shall rise. He will carry the crest, bear the mark, and awaken the child's true self." They stared at each other, fear spreading in their hearts. The prophecy is real. Back on the moon base, Liam was trying to sleep on a cold bench. Enya rested beside him, safe and quiet. But in the darkness, the room began to glow. He opened. His eyes slowly and froze. Symbols were appearing on the wall, written in gold light. Lines curved and connected, forming circles and stars. Then, one by one, they floated toward Enya's chest and sank into her skin like whispers. The mark on Liam's wrist began to burn, not painfully, but with strange energy. Suddenly, he knew. Things he had never learned, words in a forgotten language, feeling of something ancient moving inside him. He picked Enya up gently, and for a second, he could see her eyes glowing not just blue, but with swirls of gold and white, like tiny galaxies. Then it all faded. She yawned and nestled into his chest again. Liam stood there, shaking. "What are you?" But deep down, he already knew. She wasn't just royal. She was something more. Back on the Queen's cruiser, loyal guards approached her in secret. "Your Majesty," one whispered, "the stars are reacting. Astrological readings haven't changed like this in generations." Another added, "Civilizations outside our empire are noticing. They sense the disturbance. They're watching." Queen Alari walked to her private chamber. There, she opened a sealed box. Inside it was a crystal tablet and artifact, older than the council. She tapped it once. A glowing message appeared in an ancient dialect. "The protector will rise not as warrior, but as heart. The fire-blooded will not conquer, but bond. Through him, the child of stars shall awaken, and the galaxy shall tremble." The Queen closed her eyes. So it begins again. Elsewhere, in a secret part of the council, a shadow leader stood before his agents. "It's true. The mark has appeared. The bond is forming." Should we destroy the human? Someone asked. No, the leader replied. If we do, the child will rage. Her power could destroy us all. Then what? We wait, we watch. And when the child begins to change, we'll strike. But what if he awakens her fully? The leader's face turned cold. Then the galaxy will burn, and humans will lead the fire. On the cold moon, Liam looked out at the stars. He didn't know who was watching. He didn't know warships were moving again. He didn't know the future of the galaxy was now wrapped in the soft breath of the tiny child sleeping in his arms. But he knew one thing. I'm not letting anyone take you, he whispered. Not ever. And behind them, on the wall, the golden symbols glowed once more. Protector, chosen, fire and light, asterisk, one future. The sun above the broken planet had just begun to rise. Faint light touched the surface of the moon where Liam stood outside. The base, holding the child .ANYA. She was different now. Her small body glowed softly, not just with color, but with something deeper energy. Strange pulses moved through her like waves, lighting up the symbols on her chest. Even the mark on Liam's wrist began to burn brighter every time he touched her. Inside the base, sensors were going wild. Her heartbeat was linked to gravity shifts. Her tiny giggle had made glass walls hum with power. And her tears, though rare now, had once caused the lights to go out across the entire moon for 2 minutes. She wasn't just a child anymore. She was becoming something else. Back on the Velari. Queen's cruiser. Alarms blared. The Council's warships had returned this time with a fleet. We warned her, a council commander said coldly. She chose to hide the child. Now we remove both. The Queen watched the fleet arrive, her face calm. Her advisors begged her to flee. I will not run, she said. But I will not let them find the child. She pressed a secret panel on her throne. A hidden communication link opened a direct channel to Liam's pod beacon. Far away on the moon, Liam's old transmitter lit up. He picked it up carefully and heard her voice. Liam, they're coming. Do you understand now? What she is? Liam looked down at Enya, now awake and staring at the stars, as if she knew something was about to happen. Yes, he whispered. She's more than royal. She's evolution. Lee. Council fears her, the Queen said, because they see what I now see. She's the future, but without you, she will not survive what's coming. I'm not going anywhere, Liam replied. But if they come, what do I do? You protect her, no matter the cost. Moments later, orbit sensors lit up red. A massive Velari destroyer appeared above the moon. Gun ports opened. Targeting systems locked onto the base. Inside, Enya stared at the sky. Then she raised one small hand, and the sky turned white. From the ship above, the commander panicked. Energy spike? What is that? Before they could fire, a wave of golden energy blasted from the moon's surface. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't violent. It was a signal. A pulse that spread like light through space, passing through ships, touching satellites, crossing star systems. And in every ship, every sensor, every screen, a word appeared. Awaken. Back on the surface, Liam fell to his knees, still holding Enya. She wasn't glowing anymore. She was shining, but she wasn't burning him. She was warm, like sunlight. Like hope. Around them, the symbols from the old temple began to appear on the moon's ground, carved by light itself. Enya floated slightly from his arms, hovering in the air, looking straight at him. Then she spoke not with words, but inside his mind. You are my guardian. You are my anchor. Liam couldn't speak. He just nodded, tears in his eyes. Back in space, the council ship shut down, not from damage, but from something deeper. Fear. The power they had seen was not a weapon. It was truth. Old prophecy was not myth. The fire-blooded human had bonded with the child of light. Together, they had triggered something ancient, something stronger than warships, or THRONEs. Change. Queen Elari stood tall on her bridge, her people kneeling around her. She has awakened, she said softly, and she chose Earth's sun. From now on, the Velari Empire would no longer rule with cold hands and silent laws. Now, they would follow the one chosen by their most powerful child. Weeks passed. Liam stayed on the moon base with Enya. She no longer cried. She walked now slowly, softly, always holding his hand. Her power had calmed, but not faded. She was learning. And Liam? He was no longer just an engineer. He was her protector. Her teacher, her family. And soon, as whispers spread through the galaxy of the human and the child who stopped a fleet with light, a new message echoed across star systems. The future speaks, and its first word was human.